And we're back. The second of 4 games from here in San Sebastian today, and 8 games over our legacy-wide network. The other 4 being played at Anglet Arena in France for this WSI 2005 birth year tournament invitational. It'll be East Coast against the CSKA Moscow Selects. We saw a great matchup just prior between the other Russian team in this tournament, the Ural Selects, and they took on the West Coast counterpart of this East Coast Select squad, and they put up a gigantic victory as most of the pressure came from the Russian side, but some stellar goaltending from the West Coast squad was able to pull through and take the first victory for North America in this tournament. Now we'll get an East Coast team who has a lot of chemistry. You look down the lineup and there's 5 Mississauga natives, 4 New Jersey natives, a couple Windsor natives. So a lot of these players, having played against or with each other prior, got to have a lot of chemistry and a little bit of extra kind of emphasis on their ability just to find each other and know where each other is on the ice. On the other side of things, this Moscow squad plays together all year. So every player in the lineup citing their hometown as Moscow. Whether that's true or not is up to decision, but nonetheless, all of them have played with each other throughout the year and have a little bit of an edge in that case as well. So we'll see what happens. Goaltenders for today, Sebastian Monaco in the purple and blue Avalanche colors, and CSKA's Vladimir Wojtak will be in net for the red and white. Excuse me, red, white, and blue. CSKA will now break it up and through center. As you hear the bench calling for the penalty there, but to no avail, as was upended there by the likes of Liam Doyle, the Windsor native. Playing defense for this squad, and a quick goal there is a harmless little chance coming down the wall. I want to say it was Markovic, but we'll have to wait and see. Excuse me, it's going to be Sharounik, Ethan Sharounik, who's just going to pop in down the side and fire that one up and in. As Wojtak wasn't expecting the shot, so good work by Sharounik to catch him off guard, and not even 2 minutes into this one. It's a 1-0 hockey game. Now it'll be Marnievich with Kim and Lalkin for East Coast. Now in behind the net, that's the big defender, Aram Manishan, New Jersey mid-Fairfield product, as he stands almost 6 feet tall, just flipping in at 5'11". You can see back there how he just commands a ton of space, and look for him to get a lot of point shots and a lot of work, because there'll be a big minute eater here for this East Coast team. Moscow breaking it out. On the wall here, it's going to be Iakovalev, and that quick shot there was tracked all the way into the breadbasket by Monaco, as already this East Coast team establishing themselves as the offensive squad we know they can be. Last year putting in a good effort, falling short eventually to Draft Day, who was the winners of the WSI tournament in 2019. But of course, both these teams looking to change the record and switch things up, each one wanting to take home that coveted WSI trophy at the end of the week. Up and over your offensive blue, it's going to be the likes of McFadden in to pressure that. Now far end. We will pressure in behind the offensive net. Good work by Moscow, though. They're going to find Petrov on the side here, and now it's Petrov in over center doing some work. A couple good moves, but finally cut down by Constante. Is these Russians, they love to stick handle it over center and up right into the middle of the ice. So East Coast is going to have to be careful to keep down to the outside. Otherwise, a lot of offense will be generated off that rush. Now it's McFadden, and he was cut off on his way to the net, and CSKA will go the other way. Good hit there on the wall by Emery. He will battle in there. CSKA has the numbers, trying to free it up. It'll pop out to Mastranko. Mastranko, that weak shot in, was steered aside by Monaco. Now Olsen trying to find Emery up ice, but was cut off there by Nagdazev. Buryakov up the far side. East Coast able to find it back on their sticks. Has tried to find Kim streaking through the middle of the ice. That was Desidro, but unable to connect. Great work there is Kim now in, shot, save. Oh man, and almost another chance for Merkiewicz, who tried to find it as Wojtek wasn't able to track it as it went across the crease, but neither was Merkiewicz, and CSKA getting away with one. Now Monaco steering that to the wall. It'll be Lalkin. His pass will get cut off through center. And CSKA again going the other way. These Russian squads doing such a great job in the transition game, going north-south in a hurry. Down the wall, it's Ciara Mantro. He will find it again on his stick. Pop out for a shot, but that was deflected high and wide. And behind the net, doing some work there was Lalkin. That's CSKA again. Up the wall of Chenkov in. Now onto the stick of Kaprov, who had fired that on net. And again, in behind Kaprov with it now. Excuse me, that was Kaprov across the seam, who was trying to be found there by Ovchenkov, but East Coast able to work it out and down the other way. Merkiewicz in pressuring, and that was a big hit there from behind. You see Merkiewicz with his hands up in the air. The official not calling him on the hit from behind, I don't believe, as we'll get another look there as Merkiewicz. Yeah, and man, Buryakov just kind of turning into that hit the wrong way, so Merkiewicz just the victim of kind of a tough play there. As we'll take a look back again at that Kaprov chance. Good work by Monaco to steer that one away to the wall. Now CSKA, chance to set up here on the power play, will be shut down there, as that was the works of Farrand, who cleared that one up and down the ice. CSKA trying to enter the zone, but again, Farrand able to cut that down and ripped it about 150 feet down the ice on net. Now again, CSKA not able to get anything going here, as everything they try to get up through the neutral zone seems to be cut down by these East Coast defenders. They finally will get it across center, but it'll go back the other way. Odd man rush. It'll be Emery in, drops it. Costantante not able to corral that one, and CSKA almost getting away with one there on the 2-on-1, but was broke down at center by the likes of Alex Bosland. Bosland again will rifle that one up, and he'll find Emery. And on his backhand, tried to send that on goal, but Wojtek able to steer it to the wall. In behind the net, Moscow will work it up the near side. In is Maslov, shot, scores! And Maslov just cut right across the ice and was able to go short side up on Monaco. And the power play time paying off. You see again Maslov just a rifle of a shot as Monaco sliding to his right. Not able to track that, and my word. Beautiful set of hands there as Monaco, no chance. And now after that goal, East Coast coming back with a good face-off win shift after a goal. So important, needing to rebound here, but it looks like Moscow in shot. That one just high and wide. That was Agev. Monaco looking a little bit shaky here in the early goings. That being said, that was a beautiful goal there by Yuri Maslov, the Moscow Russian native. As are all the players down this CSKA Moscow lineup. East Coast trying to mount some pressure here. That'll just have to go back to the likes of DeZidro, who will send it into the far corner. Fresh legs from both squads. You saw up ice there was Petrov looking for the stretch pass, but not able to connect. CSKA in again. It's Agev, and he will get that one to the net, but Monaco able to get a stick on it and send it wide. There's this goal again. Beautiful cut to the middle of the ice, and just found himself all alone with some good real estate was Yuri Maslov, able to pop that one up and over the right shoulder of Monaco, and we're now tied at once. Quick goals in this one, in contrast to the last game that we saw, is both teams taking a while to get on the board. The first goal coming from West Coast at about this time in the game, but didn't see another one until just after the 10-minute mark of the next period. Now it's Laukin in on the break, and he was dragged down by the likes of Buryakov, and we'll get a penalty shot. It'll be Ben Laukin. We'll take a look back at that as that was Buryakov just getting the stick in on the hands of Laukin, who'd gotten a beautiful stretch pass down the ice there and was in alone. So, Ben Laukin, the Mississauga, Ontario native, plays for his hometown Mississauga Reps, and he'll be in here on goaltender Wojtek. He'll go wide, back to the forehand, goal! What a move there by Ben Laukin, just outweighted Vladimir Wojtek, and with the patience able to tuck it far side, giving his team a 2-1 lead here. We'll take a look back at that, just going backhand right to the forehand, and no chance for Wojtek as he tried to slide to his right, but couldn't get the pad on it. And there you have it, Ben Laukin giving his team the edge here with 11:25 left to play in this first frame. And it looks like it's going to be a shootout here this morning in San Sebastian. That pass cut off there by the gigantic defender, Fedor Elkuzov, who was stapled into the wall. And that one blown dead by the official on the hand pass is, wow. East Coast getting away with one there. You see it just came up right to the top of the circles, and then CSKA was in with 3 players alone, but the official blowing it down on the hand pass as East Coast just about letting up that equalizing goal, or at least what was a prime opportunity. Up through the middle of the ice, great pass there to headman Shauronik, who couldn't find the handle and fired it high and wide. Good coverage there by Constantante, who was able to cut down that CSKA attempt to go across ice. You see Moscow really liking that stretch pass. Hasn't worked for them yet, but you gotta think it's only a matter of time as Constante was hammered there down the middle of the ice by this gigantic defender, Elkuzov, the Moscow native, and Constante slow to get to his feet, will need some help there. And oh my, take a look back there. Constante just picking that one up, and Elkuzov catching him in the trolley tracks Wow. Just an absolute destruction there as Constante still trying to find his way to the bench, but with lots of help as he'll find a seat. And you gotta hope he's gonna be okay. Thus far in the game has really showed his puck moving ability and does a great job really just kind of finding those little holes. As even there, it just picked up the puck, didn't see the likes of Kuzov, who found him with his head down and blew him right up. Nonetheless, power play here for the East Coast side is Kuzov going off on, I think, what they're going to call a knee. So a big power play opportunity for East Coast here to extend their 2-1 lead. Markevich, and he's got Kim at the point there. Markevich winning it to the side, but Sear Matero not able to find that handle. Kim, him and his partner are getting their wires crossed. That was Manishin, who will now find himself with the puck, working it up the near side. They'll just fire that one back to the point to Markevich, who will find again Manishin. Big shot there, scores! Daniel Markevich dropping that puck for Aaron Manishin, who made no mistake walking the line and ripping that one past Wojciech through a couple bodies. You see that drop pass coming, and Manishin, beautiful seeing eye shot that found its way all the way down and just above that pad there of Wojciech. Oh, is now going to get the yank in favor of Igor Igorov. Larger goaltender, but you can see this CSKA coaching staff not happy with how their team performing in the early goings. Head coach Vladimir Grishin actually was the assistant coach with the U18 team Russia in 15-16, so certainly knows his way around these big-time games, and you got to think on the part of the coaching staff might be a good move there to get Igorov out of the net. Or sorry, excuse me, get Wojciech out of the net in favor of Igorov and get his team hopefully a little bit of a spark. Some pressure here coming from East Coast on the tail end of that power play goal from Manishin. And that puck had just bounced right out in front of the net there. Brock Cummings, again, another Mississauga native, trying to bang away at that, but Igorov getting his first touch on it and covering up for the whistle. Now in to take the face off, that's Sharounik. He will lose that to Elkusov, who will send it around. He will find it back on his stick, and CSKA will break it out. Big hit there along the wall as Emery had driven Petrov, the smaller forward, down into the near side boards. Sharounik. That was picked off out of midair, but no high stick call. You see the CSKA bench calling for the high stick. That was pretty blatant, but the officials not able to get eyes on that. As we'll see that again as Emery batting that out of midair. Beautiful set of hands on him, but officials really needing to blow that one down as it almost turned into a prime scoring chance. Now again, Markevich in to take that draw. He will lose it, but Lalkin will come in and pick it up on the winger win. East Coast battling in their offensive zone. In behind the goal scorer, Maslow. He was run over there, tried to jump out of the way of Markevich, and you can see Maslow holding his leg. He is in all kinds of pain. Kaprov will just delay there as we'll get a whistle. As, yep, that'll be Yuri Maslow down on the ice there in all kinds of pain. We'll get a look back here as Markevich just going for the hit, and Maslow jumping out of the way. Unfortunately, just as he came down there, fell awkwardly. And you can see, yeah, that leg just up and under him there. And still down in a heap, his teammates crowding around him. Unfortunately, not able to see due to some spectators here in the way of our stream. Unable to get a visual there as Maslow. They've taken him to the penalty box here just to get some repairs, as that'll be a whole bunch of medical staff in there just trying to tend to him. You got to think it's that left leg that had been caught up and under him. Of course, Mirkevich, again, not trying to do anything dirty there, just going to play the body, and Maslow jumping up and out of the way. So that will be a big blow to this CSKA squad, who are going to lose their lone goal scorer likely for the remainder of the game, as that did not look like a good result, as his team finally getting him to the box here. But man, you got to hope for his health. We'll get a bit of an extended delay here. And the official is going to call a 5-in-a-game penalty on Mirkevich. So not really sure what warrants that there, but okay. And Daniel Mirkevich is not going to see action until tomorrow, by the sounds of it. So the official going to explain that call to head coach Kyle Donovan of this East Coast squad. And obviously he's just going to kind of wonder what for. Maybe a trip or a knee, but don't believe that warrants a 5-in-a-game. Obviously the result pretty grotesque, but nonetheless, Mirkevich just trying to play the body. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But nonetheless, it's going to be a big-time power play here for East Coast. Excuse me, it's going to be CSKA just up on the board there on the wrong side. So 5-minute power play here. A little bit of taunting going on from this Moscow squad. As obviously they're not happy. Mirkevich feeling bad in the box here, as he's having a little bit of dialogue with Maslow, who I believe is going to find his feet under him and make his way back to the bench. These Russian fans very concerned with the health there of Maslow, now just standing up and over the bench there where Mirkevich is. But Maslow back to his own bench, so that's good news, seeing him not go directly to the locker room. Nonetheless, big kill here for this East Coast squad. This will be a 5-minute power play. A 5-in-a-game there for Daniel Mirkevich, who picked up a point on, I want to say that was, yeah, the go-ahead goal from Aram Manishan. So, big power play here. Now, working in and through center, it's CSKA. Shot, scores! Oh, baby! Anton Petrov. Just picking that puck up around center, doing all kinds of work, and off his own stick, finding that shot from the top of the circle, and seeing eye all its way through Monaco. You could see he wasn't happy there, is believing, I think, his defender kind of got in the way and a little bit of an accidental screen. Nonetheless, this power play will continue. The 5-minute non-ending penalty will continue to roll here. Does not get negated by a goal. So, again, East Coast needing to hold on to things. We saw in the NHL something very similar to this as Vegas up 4-1 in that Game 7, eventually losing to San Jose as they got a 5-minute power play with just over 10 minutes left in the third period. Went on to bury 4 unanswered goals. And then, of course, Vegas able to notch it up eventually, but losing in overtime. So, similar case here is East Coast has now killed off a minute of the power play, but allowing 1 goal. And CSKA is all kinds of hungry, looking to capitalize on the victimization of their player and goal scorer, Yuri Maslov. CSKA just trying to find it in their own zone and break it out. The goal scorer, that's going to be Petrov, who has it on his stick now. Kaprov, he'll send that cross ice, but Moscow will have to regroup. That was Buryakov that blew a tire. Up and through center. CSKA getting it in deep. Emery rubbing out Kovalev on the wall. And East Coast again getting it the length of the ice. Now killed off 2 minutes of this 5-minute power play. The goal scorer Petrov, and again he will be stopped there at the blue line, but pick it up again. Off the rush, Petrov in deep. He'll just delay in behind, trying to find his defenseman at the point. It'll work back into Kaprov. Kaprov not able to track that one down, and Laukin will go the other way. Anthony Laukin. Puck coming across to Manishin. Not able to find the handle there as the CSKA stick found its way into that lane. In behind the net, Manishin battling hard for it as that puck coming all the way back to the point to Kadusov. Down to the bottom of the arc. Now, right back up the top to Kadusov. Shot there from Ovchinkov. Not able to find its way through, and East Coast will be able to work that up and over center. They'll get some fresh legs, some much needed energy from this East Coast team. Just 2 minutes left in that 5-minute penalty going to Daniel Markevich. The 5 in a game on the injury to Yuri Maslov. That puck will just get up into the Russian bench. They'll have a couple words for the officials here. I believe, again, that's going to be Coach Vladimir Grecian just giving it to his team as kind of saying, guys, no need to hang yourself up and over the bench. You're just interfering with play, and that's not something they want, especially on their extended 5-minute power play here. Shot from the point there, not able to find its way on net. It'll go back to the top of the arc. That was Kadishov, and now in on the side. Stick handling in was Susev, but East Coast doing a great job of getting their bodies right into the middle and collapsing down as CSKA trying to work things into the middle of the ice. Great work there by Desidro. He was able to relieve a little bit of pressure, but CSKA, and again, shot saved there by Monaco as he flashed leather on that opportunity. As again, it was Kaprov who found it in a pretty good little scoring chance right around the hash marks there, but Monaco, easy save for him as he had the angle cut down. And wow, things are really coming right down to the wire in this first period. A 3-2 shootout. Of course, that extended time delay there on the Maslow injury. Cranked into the boards there was Boslin, but no call. Russia up to the top of the arc. Back down, try to feed it in there was Kovalev, but couldn't find the stick of the goal scorer, Petrov. Great work there up the wall by Boslin. CSKA again pressuring Kaprov in the middle. Tried to go across ice, saw Kovalev, but couldn't find him. Biakrov tried to pop out in front of the net, but Boslin again getting in the way of that and sending it the length of the ice. In deep now, East Coast. Back to 5 skaters and doing a good job of only allowing 1 on that extended 5-minute power play. Now it'll be Lalkin up through center, but not able to get it in the zone in time as Emery had just stepped over the line there, but we will get an offside here as we look back. 2:44 left in this first period. All kinds of energy in these stands here. You see even right in front of us, the Russian faithful with their Washington Capitals attire, of course, supporting their home countryman, Alexander Ovechkin. Now it'll be Lalkin in to take that draw. They'll lose that. And the stick just getting up in on the hands there of Nikiforov. And we'll get another East Coast penalty here. And it's going to be Sear Matro. It's going to go off on the hook. Nikiforov, you saw after the play, just selling it a little bit there as Sear Matro. I mean, you look back, the stick did get up and in on the hands, but not enough to really affect play as the stick did kind of find its way into that handsy area, but still could have easily been a no call. These officials holding it very tight. What a save in front there. Monaco sliding right across to his left as Nizavetsev found himself all alone in the blue paint. And to take this draw, it's going to be Mastranko. He'll lose that to the likes of Lalkin. And 2:14 left in the period. Russia pressing hard, trying to find that equalizer. They'll go back to the point. And not sure what this whistle is for here. I think it's going to be just maybe the net was off, but face-off will come outside. And tough game to get into here if you're looking for back and forth hockey. Is not too much flow, as a lot of whistles. These officials calling it very tight in all aspects of the game. Now Emery in, firing that one around, and CSKA will pick it up the far side, but DiZedro able to send it back in as his team will almost get a chance, but will be cut down by this CSKA defensive core. Manishin, his stick was lifted there. Now Moscow will work it in, and from my angle, that was not offside, as was Chikov. Yeah, you can see still going to the bench up in arms about that, as everybody was across the line as he tried to make that pass, but to no avail, and we'll get another whistle here. It'll be Kaprov in to take the draw against Olsen. Good win there by East Coast. Olsen almost able to get that one-handed deke around the legs of Biryakov. In was Moscow, but Monaco up to the task. Along the wall, it's Moscow pressing again, and Boslin will clear that the length of the ice. Right onto the net there of Egorov, who's been nothing short of exceptional. Not seeing a whole lot of action since he's found his way into the net in favor of his countryman Wojciech, who let in 3 goals in really the first 10 minutes of this game. So now the Russians pressing again. Nagdezov, he will fan on that, and Olsen will send it up through center. Tried to find far end, but he went for a change. Now Olsen, the lone man into pressure, as that was most definitely offside again, but the official's not able to see that on the long stretch pass. DiZerdro. He tried to send that one through, but CSKA able to corral that down. As now working in the corner. It'll be Agyev. He was stapled into the wall there by Boslin. Boslin again with it. They'll be cut off this time by Agyev, who sent it out front. And a couple sticks whacking away at that, but Monaco standing in tall there, and a couple great opportunities right at the tail end there, but Sebastian Monaco, the Mississauga native, standing tall and keeping his team up 3-2 here in San Sebastian, Spain. So after 20 minutes, 3-2 in favor of the East Coast Selects. We will be back with more from Legacy TV after these messages. And here we go, back after 20 minutes of play. East Coast still leading 3-2 over CSKA Moscow. Shots in that period, 8 from the Moscow side, 11 from East Coast. Goals going to Sharonik, Laukin, and Manishin for East Coast. And then Velkov, who unfortunately has had to leave the game due to injury, and Anton Petrov. So 3-2 here, and we saw last period was kind of a tale of two teams for both squads, as East Coast spending a lot of time on the penalty kill, principally due to that 5-minute extended power play that CSKA had. They only scored 1 on it, as it was Daniel Markevich who went off on the 5-minute kneeing penalty, got 5 in a game there. So East Coast doing good work to thwart that attempt, and ever since have been kind of rolling. CSKA just having a tough time finding their way into the middle of the ice. Now it'll be Kim up on the near side, and he absolutely drills. Looked like that was going to be Kovalev down there, and we'll get some pushing and shoving as a very small-looking Kaprov looks like he's trying to get right up in the grill there of Matthew Desidro, who's probably got about 6 or 7 inches on him, but nonetheless, down in the corner, it's Mike Kovalev. It's going to be helped to his feet. And we'll see where the penalties go here. Sitting in the box right now is Desidro. Excuse me, Bosland. You can hear the East Coast squad not happy with the officiating so far this morning, as it has been a lot of one-sided calls here. So, nonetheless, Kim is going to sit for 2, as I thought it was Kim that had ridden him in, just couldn't see from our angle here up in the booth. So, in to take that draw, it'll be Kaprov. Losing that to Lalkin. Good win there from East Coast. Puck going around the net. CSKA picking that up. And again, Kaprov doing work down low. That just hit a skate, and East Coast getting lucky there, as that'll pop just outside the zone. Kaprov with it again. He will work that back to his demon, Elkusov, who will delay in behind as CSKA breaking it out. Up the wall, and it looks like Velkov has actually made his way right back into the game, so good to see that he's up and moving. And that knee looks to be functioning at about 100%. So Kaprov will send that back, picked off there by Cummings, but not able to keep his feet as he took a dive to the ground. Cummings pickpocketing there as he was run over by Elkusov, who's now laid a couple big hits in this game, as he is a big body. And another big hit there from Elkusov as he stood up Boslin, who came in to do what he thought he could do against him, but to no avail as Elkusov standing him up, and a shot in on that there by Kadashov, as things really heating up here at Tixuri Arena in San Sebastian, Spain. All of a sudden the emotions are flying high and bodies flying even higher. A couple huge hits there from Fedor Elkusov, the Moscow Russian defenseman. Not only did he first lay out, I want to say that it was Lalkin, and then proceeded to stand up Boslin at his own blue line. Russia pressing again. Good tip in front there by Ovinchkov, but even better save by Monaco. And a whistle here. We'll get a face-off just outside the zone. And buckle in, because it is going to be one heck of a finish here this morning. Both teams know exactly what's at stake, and either team really could find the upper hand. Right now, East Coast leading by a goal, but could be erased in an instant, as CSKA has had a lot of pressure in the early goings of this period. Deep in their own zone. CSKA will break it out up the wall. I was picked off along the far side there by Cummings. Cummings in on the wall. Yes, we'll just get a whistle there. That'll go up and out of play, and an offensive zone draw here for CSKA. You can hear the fans getting into it. The Moscow faithful chanting CSKA. And for good reason, as their team has come out with an extra step here in this second period. Now Doyle. He'll work that all the way up to the Moscow point. Kim trying to fly through there, but was unable to pick that puck up. And another whistle for the hand pass here. These officials are absolutely dialed in this morning. If there is something to be called, it is not going to go by them, as they are calling every little bit of information. Not doing as we're used to and kind of letting the boys play. Shot saved off the bucket there of Monaco, using all of that 5'10" frame to get in the way of that one, as it ricocheted off his helmet and wide. On the wall, Kim. He will battle in there, eventually finding his countryman's stick, Lalkin, who will fire that in deep. Up the middle of the ice as Moscow will break it in. Shot on goal there from Nesvetsov, but Monaco able to steer it wide and not allow for a further opportunity. Now Kim down a couple numbers there as he tried to find Lalkin, but there was about 3 to 4 red, white, and blue sweaters who weren't allowing anything to happen inside. Up and through the middle and tripped up there. No call, as that was Velkov, who went down in a heap. Take a look back at that chance as that came right to the front of the net. Nesvetsov not able to bang it home, but this Moscow team really pressing hard here. Now in to take the draw, one back by Moscow. Great work there to cut that one off, as now Farhan will work it in deep. He's pressured by one Moscow defender who will come out with it. Great pass across ice. Found Velkov, who's in. Delang shooting just high and wide there over the glove of Monaco. And man, is Maxim Velkov dangerous. Coming back off that, what we thought was going to be a game-ending knee injury. Able to just turn on the Jets, and here he comes again. In, Velkov passing across ice, almost found Kaprov in front, but just couldn't find it before he was in past the goal line. Tried to fire it back to the crease, but nobody home. Now Velkov again, pass, scores! What a beautiful play there. Roman Kovalev, the beneficiary, but all the work coming off the stick of Maxim Velkov, who did just about everything but score there, as the first chance coming across the crease, not able to find the handle, was Kaprov. Fired it back through, then things progress, and what a beautiful pass there from Velkov, finding Kovalev, who made no mistake there. No chance for Monaco, as 3 red, white, and blue sweaters in there, making this East Coast squad pay. So there we go. We said it was coming. And it did the equalizer. Now, all notched at threes. 14:09 left to go in the frame, as this one again will come down to the wire. Lots of exciting hockey to come here, as we'll remind you after this game comes to a close, the Finns will take on last year's defending champs, the Draft Day Selects, at 11, which will likely be a little bit delayed just due to that extended. And we got another goal here. Is just a harmless looking little play. The Russians are up in arms, as not sure who the eventual goal scorer is going to be. Emery's going to lead the charge at the bench, but yeah, you see him behind the net there. That puck just popping out, and Emery batting it out of midair. And I got to say, that was below the crossbar. You can see cut and dry as that puck popping out from in behind the net. It was Olsen who fired it up and over top, and Emery, what a play by him to get some hands on that. And look at that one more time. You can see why the Russians, they got a bit of an argument, but if you take a look back at it on the replay, that stick below the crossbar, so it'll be a good goal. Ian Emery, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native, getting the go-ahead goal, and East Coast wasting no time as they came back after that equalizing goal, and all of a sudden they've gone up one again. CSKA, the fan club, getting back into it. As good hit there along the wall by Manishin. Now, East Coast doing their best to break it out. They don't want to allow any giveaways here, as that just about found its way onto a Moscow stick down the middle. Lalkin coming in, firing, steered aside there by Igorov. Again, it'll be the goal scorer, Emery, who won't be able to find it on his stick, as now Moscow will break it out. Big hit there as Manishin came across, but was stood up by Klinsky. Good work to get it deep, find some fresh legs for East Coast. As now Moscow will break it up down the far wall. That touch pass almost found the stick there of Velkov again, but to no avail, as now East Coast will regroup. Kim almost able to pick the pocket of Velkov, but he was able to hold on to it and find Kovalev. Back again to Buryakov. He will try and find a white sweater up the wall, but not able to. Nonetheless, in deep here as it'll go to Buryakov again. Velkov with it. He'll stick handle through three East Coast defenders. Eventually, he was cut down there by Desidro. Kim in now. Did a good job to avoid that hit there of Kaprov, but not able to hold on to the puck. And again, it's Sharounik. Sharounik will delay. He'll spin and just drop that one down deep, and Kim will get on it. Up the wall. Moscow breaking it out again. 3-on-3 entering the zone, and whoa, big shot there, as I'm not sure if he heard the whistle, but the official will have nothing to do with it, as I believe it's going to be Nagdazev who picked up that puck, and he's going to see the gate there. The official had blown it down on an initial penalty call there from Moscow, but Nagdazev just picked it up, and you can see ripped that one on net. I would say about a good 5 seconds after the whistle had gone. It turns out they were actually just blowing the whistle there on the offside. Nagdazev not able to pick up on that, and his team will now suffer. They've still got 5 skaters out here, even though they're on the penalty kill. So a little bit of lip service here, as just the officials will try to sort things out at ice level. Moscow needing to pull one of their players off the ice as we're just trying to figure things out. And all right, I guess at the end of the day, that penalty is not going to affect this Moscow squad. Just going to be a 10-minute misconduct. And East Coast again going to have to go to the box. Farhan's going to touch up, and East Coast is going to go off on the trip. This one will show up on the score clock. And East Coast looking like they were going to go to the power play, all of a sudden on the penalty kill. Kaprov in to take this offensive zone draw against Lalkin. Good win back there, but almost poked out of the zone and blown up by Lalkin was Beryakov. Now it'll come back to him. Beryakov, the big shot, blocked by Manishin in front. And Manishin will skate it out. Manishin in, drop pass, shot save there from Igorov as the beautiful drop pass from Manishin found its way to Farhan, and an even better shot. We'll take a look back at that as Farhan, just no traffic there, and Igorov had the angle cut off from the beginning. So offensive zone draw here for East Coast. Cummings in to take that big win back to Manishin. His shot was blocked as Moscow will break it out. Now it's Velkov, and we'll get a favorable offside here for East Coast as Velkov had picked that puck up along the wall. We'll take a look back here as Manishin just getting a stick on that to hold up Velkov as he didn't have control as he went into the zone backwards. And cleared the length of the ice there by East Coast. Russia breaking it out. Good touch there to stop that icing call. As now East Coast will play with it in their own zone. Olsen picked it up. Good save there at the point, but eventually Cummings will find it and send it again 200 feet. So now Russia with just under a minute left in their power play opportunity, wanting to find the equalizer. Can they do it again? They did it so well last time, but this East Coast squad did not go away and came right back with the go-ahead goal. And there you go, East Coast. Their relentless skating prowess, especially on the penalty kill here, finally leading to a penalty call as Brock Cummings breaking up and over his offensive zone blue line was hauled down here. We'll try and figure out who the culprit was. That was 71 there, Nikita Susev, who had hauled him down. Moscow just trying to figure out who they're going to send to the box. And it will be Susev who will sit the 2 minutes. So back to 4-on-4 hockey. CSKA has had plenty of opportunities so far this morning, but not able to capitalize on the power play. And cleared the length of the ice there by Klinsky. I think Klinsky unable to recognize that his team was not, in fact, on the penalty kill, and when he fired that down, it would come all the way back. So, another big 4-on-4 chance. It's going to be Shraunik in to take this draw. One back. The Russians picking that up in behind. It's Elkuzov, the massive defender there for CSKA. Picked off, and now East Coast will regroup. Boslin with it. He'll send that in deep. In behind the net there of Igorov. East Coast trying to send that one to the net, but not able to find a stick as Kim was waiting alongside the goal. Breaking it out, it'll be Elkuzov. He will just skate it all the way over center, and double back, killing some more time. Klinsky with it now and just ripped that one across the ice and into the East Coast bench. So, again, we will see an offensive zone draw here for East Coast as they've got 1 minute and 6 seconds left on that tripping call. Looking to add to their tally and just put this one almost out of reach for CSKA. It's anyone's game right now. Manishin back on the point. Good pass to his partner, Lalkin. Lalkin will take that one in. He's still got it. Tried to fire it on net. Came right back to him. Back to the point to Kim. Kim to the big shot from Manishin. That hit a couple bodies and didn't find the net. Manishin almost able to keep that one in at the line, but he'll have to skate back and regroup. Kim up and through center, finds Cummings. Cummings tried to find Lalkin, who was coming in across the seam, but to no avail. Kim in a foot race. He will lose that in favor of Kudashov. Manishin with it again. He'll just skate it in. Cut to the middle. And dangerous chance there. Manishin poke checked, and CSKA really trying to keep this East Coast squad off the board, but East Coast giving all kinds of pressure right now. Almost finding Kaprov up ice. That was Maxim Velkov, who's been the best player thus far today for Moscow. And that one will just stop play there as Egorov will cover up for the whistle. And Igor Egorov has been just about perfect since coming in for his earlier predecessor, Vladimir Wojtak, who had let in 3 goals early in the game. But Egorov has stood strong and only allowing that 1 goal earlier in the period, right off the tail end of his own team's equalizing goal. Battle in on the wall. It's Elkuzov. Elkuzov will just spin and fire that up the near wall, and his team will try to break it out. Foot race. Kaprov getting to it first. Tried to center that for the likes of Moulin, but East Coast again doing such a good job of finding their way into those passing lanes and not allowing this CSKA team to set up any sort of sustained zone pressure. Emery will fire that one down deep. Back to pick it up. There was Elkuzov again. He has seen all kinds of ice this morning. Bosland. Good shot there. Wasn't able to find the net though. Farand. He will pick that up and get in on a bit of a partial break. Power moved in the net by Farand, but Elkuzov getting a stick in the way there as belted into the boards was Olsen. And it's most definitely going to be a penalty. We'll see who gets it here. As again, the Russians just trying to play guilty. And excuse me, it's actually going to be Shraunik who's going to get the penalty. So again, a bit of a misplaced culprit there as Ethan Shraunik now having to pay the price for what looked like it was going to be a penalty towards Moscow. That puck will just bounce up and out of play there as we'll see 5:55 left on the game clock. 4-3 East Coast selects on a go-ahead goal scored by the likes of Ian Emery. Batted it out of midair just about 10 minutes ago. Bosland in behind. Good work to just delay and fire that down the ice, killing a bit of time here as 1:40 left in the CSKA power play. They will just skate it out to center. That pass down the wall found Nizavetsev. He will fight for it. And again, another hand pass called here by the officials. You can see Moscow not happy about it. Nonetheless, face-off with 5:27 left to go. Moscow needing to find an answer. The official dropping that one a little bit prematurely. Not everybody was set up ready to go, but East Coast, the beneficiary, as they were able to clear it the length of the ice. Picking it up with speed. It's Velkov. Maxim Velkov cut off there at the opposing blue line. Now Kudisov will work in on the far wall, and East Coast again doing hard work on the wall. That was Sear Mantro able to free that one up and get it all the way down. Now, blue attire was Manishin in shot. Kovalev not able to get good wood on that as Manishin belted him into the wall. Now, Velkov going across the ice to Elkusov. In behind the net, that's Kovalev. He'll try to center that one, but all he will find is the stick of Christian Kim, who will clear it the length of the ice. Big stretch pass there from Moscow. Velkov. These Russians can skate all day long. Velkov right now on about a 3.5 minute shift and not really showing any signs of slowing up, as is Elkusov, who's been out there for just about every goal for and against. Out of the box is Shraunik in on the 2-on-1 shot. And great work there as we'll get some rough stuff in front of the net. Cummings had gone hard in there and was greeted by a red, white, and blue jersey. We'll just take a look back there. Shraunik, and excuse me, that was Emery, the go-ahead goal scorer, who had gone hard to the net. Kovalev all over him as he found himself in the blue paint there. Nonetheless, good save there by Igorov to cut down that angle and not give East Coast anything to shoot at. And to take that draw, it's Emery winning it to the middle of the ice, but gets up through center and then back in as Laukin will get that one down deep. Olsen in the corner finds Emery. Emery stapled into the wall there as Olsen came in with his hands up high, and him and Klinsky, the other number 9 on the ice, will go at it a little bit there, and now it'll be a battle along the far corner. Emery was chopped down there by Klinsky, and just behind the play there you saw Klinsky and Emery going at it. Moscow coach Vladimir Grishin with some more choice words for the officiating staff, as this game has really started to get out of hand here. A lot of physical play. You got to think, coming off that big 5-minute penalty in the first period, the emotions have really been heating up, and both teams establishing their physical game early on and have carried it throughout the entirety of this game. It'll be Sear Mantro. He'll just fire that one in deep over the right shoulder there of Igorov. Battle on the near side corner. Farrant able to work it up the wall, and Manishin stapled. Eventually Moscow will work it up, but it'll hit the shin pad of Kim. East Coast will have to double back. That long cross ice pass will find Farrand. Farrand spinning and firing that on the backhand. Didn't believe he had Manishin behind him, but Manishin was in tow, however, and now Cummings off the rush. East Coast, all kinds of pressure here. Farrand, big shot in there, didn't quite find the handle, but was able to get it on net. No traffic though, and an easy save for goaltender Igorov. Right down to the wire here. 2:20 left to go, and this barn burner of a game, both teams really physical with each other. As picked up in front, Laukin almost charging to the net there and finding it, but Egorov standing tall and not allowing his team to take another bullet here. Again, in to take the draw is Lalkin. Lalkin losing that one as it was a good win by Kaprov to the side. Russia now having numbers, 3-2 through center. In front of the net, Velkov almost getting a stick on that pass as it came across from Petrov. Back to the point, it's Buryakov. Shot on goal and easy save there from the point as no bodies to get in front of that attempt. And Monaco, who's been all over it all game, easy save for him. And CSKA again getting all kinds of support from their crowd who's come out here all the way from Moscow to support their squad. And just some pleasantries here. The referee trying to tell the players to take a step back. Maybe a little bit of a language barrier getting in the way there. Cummings fighting in on the wall with Bosland. East Coast will come out with it, and it's Emery up through center. He will be cut off there by Klinsky, who will break it out for his Moscow squad. Good hit there along the wall as Kaprov was ridden in by. It's going to be Constante, who is back finally from that earlier hit, which looked like it was going to be probably a concussion, but looks like he went through the protocol and is again back playing for his squad. Breaking it out is Agiev. Agiev up the wall to Elkuzov. His attempt was cut off. Now Velkov trying to work it through the middle of the ice, but a 2-on-2 the other way as Kim shooting that one. Believe that was a pad pass there, but Velkov now the other way. Good work there by Manishin as Velkov had tried to go inside out on him, as Manishin now throwing Velkov to the ground, but Elkuzov picking it up, sending it to the point. Kadishov almost getting that one through as the rebound had popped out onto the stick of Tabithe. As now the Russians, Egorov pulled, and oh baby, almost found at the length of the ice as Shraunik had recognized Egorov had left his net wide open. As the clock will tick down some extra time here, you can see the Russians not happy about it. So they'll figure out how much time needs to go back on the clock. As again, an unbelievable finish here in San Sebastian. I believe we'll get a couple more seconds back on the clock there, but CSKA exactly what they need here if they're looking to lock things up at fours. So there you have it, 12 seconds left on the clock. And CSKA with an offensive zone draw opportunity. Looking as if Egorov has found his way back onto the ice. We'll have to see exactly what happens here, but still 6 skaters on for Moscow. Coach Vladimir Grishin drawing up a couple plays. The message has to be pucks to the net in a hurry. So likely a win back to the point, and then just all hands on deck towards the net is now it'll be the chance for Sebastian Monaco, the Mississauga, Ontario native and East Coast goaltender, to shine as he has all game long. So here you have it. You live for big opportunities. This is exactly what we have here in this thriller. It'll be Lalkin in to take the draw. And we'll see a couple more words here exchanged as in to take the draw for Russia is Klinsky. Klinsky and Lalkin. Who will be the victor as 8 seconds left. Big win to the side there by Lalkin. And what a play there as That was Boslin poking that one up, and the whistle will sound. A Moscow player down in a heap there and trying to find his way to his feet. That's Susev, but nonetheless a gigantic win there for the East Coast Selects, following in the footsteps of their West Coast counterparts this morning, both taking on Russian squads, both downing them by a goal. So that'll be it for us here at Legacy TV. We will see you back here in a couple minutes as the Finns take on the defending champions, the Draft Day Selects. For all of us here at Legacy TV, Rob Fleming, Weiss, and Nikola. We'll see you in a bit.